Spotted. We are going to swap to the double first-person view just to get an idea of how incredibly fast these players are. Multitasking all over the shop.
This is Katowice, and we're still in the round of 12. It's going to be Zest going up against soO next to figure out who's going to be able to move on to play against Serral. I know that a lot of people are going to be looking forward to that later on in the day. Joining me, Muslim and Ro12. Guys.
Up left here, the blue Protoss. This is Zest.
All right, Zerg player representing Chivo Esports. He is soO. Meta, again, every single player seems to be doing it right now. That quick third base, getting up the production. And of course, the Zerg builds the Queen from the natural expansion first. There are some sharp timing attacks that you can push out with off this. It is going to be Warp Prism first to begin. So even just the Adept drop, remember, I think it was Hero who pioneered that in GSL where
it looks like soO. I mean, obviously when you see this Warp Prism, you're like, okay, need to get some units out because I'm going to get hit soon. So, I mean, soO has what he needs.
He builds Immortals. He's got a ton of gateways. They're not ready just yet. He needs to see these roaches.
Oh,
but the Warp Prism,
he doesn't see it.
Oh, I mean, he might just get overwhelmed at his needs time. This is an all-in attack. Only 25 drones behind this for soO.
Yeah, this one needs to do damage. Zest desperately trying to get this Immortal out. Gonna have to dump some Chronos in there. The door's open and some Links get in. If he can grab this Sentry, be a nice pick off, but he doesn't quite get it. He's also gonna start dropping those Biles. Of course, the Biles break the Force Fields. Recall from Zest to bring the Prism back home and try and hold on. The Sentry's getting targeted down, but nice pick up there from Zest. Saving these Sentries for now, elongating their life as much as he can. Force Fields being dropped, but this Ravager from soO just consistently breaks them down.
Very nice Force Fields, though, buying time. The Immortal gets down here, and that's what you need. You've got to hold that choke point against the Lings. Shield batteries beginning to finish. Zest here, so far with a fantastic hold. Those early Sentries, their utility has been incredible.
These Lings are starting to find a lot of purchase pick. The probes are all dying in the natural. Yes, soO is all in, but he's still not being cleaned up. Oh, Zest with the Prism Micro, though. The Immortal's still alive. Oh, actually,
those
nice
four Zealots. The four Zealots in the middle took down so many Lings, but it's not over yet. soO continuing to rally in. One Immortal and a Warp Prism. There's another Shield Battery finishing up, and a great Bile landing right on top of that Zealot. The main base is open.
And there's no Shield Battery up here. There is an Immortal popping out, though. Guns down that Ravager immediately. The Links around on that Immortal and doing tons of damage. The probes also coming up the line to help. soO is just holding that C button, setting them across the map and trying to end this game right here, right now.
Yeah, Zest is continuing to warp in Zealots. They are the best raw damage unit here for him to continue fighting. Picking up those Immortals whenever they're weak. The Immortals continuing to do damage here. They hold on. Zergling's going to go into the main base, looking for more probe kills. They desperately need to damage Zest. He's got 2 Immortals and a Warp Prism out. Every probe kill is so important because if soO has to defend, guess what? 2 Immortals and a Warp Prism are going to give him an absolute nightmare in the next few minutes of this game.
Yeah, what are you going to do against that? He only has 2 Queens. What are you going to do with that? You can't stop these Immortals and this Warp Prism. And soO is droning behind this, feeling like he just doesn't have the steam to continue this aggression. He does have a ball of Links, and the natural is open. Force Field from Zest. No!
Oh!
It looks like he stopped the majority, because can he stop this army is the big question here in Game 1.
Oh, 2 Zealots splitting off from the pack there.
Oopsie daisies.
They get isolated. Sloppy control there by Zest. He needs these units. The Zealot count especially is so important here against this swell of Zerglings.
And the Zerglings are going to be very important with dealing with those Immortals as well. The Zealots body blocking, keeping those Zerglings zoned away from these Immortals, which are doing sick damage to that third base. The third base looks like it's about to go down here. The Zest is going to stand, and soO decides the time is now. Biles going on top of those Sentries, and it looks like he actually connects very nicely with those Biles. soO, does he have the Ravagers and the Queen Count to survive here? Can he hold on?
Oh, the Warp Prism, it's getting hit! Oh! An Immortal picks up into it and goes down with the Prism. Fantastic control by soO.
The clutch.
Put him on the back foot from the get-go.
Yeah, just talking about the players individually, soO is more of an emotional player than Zest. Zest is a cold, calculating monster. soO wears his heart on his sleeve. We saw a player
Maynard always inciting the best characters in amongst the crowd. I mean, to be fair, it's all passion, right?
It is.
When you tell your opponent that they didn't win the game, it's just their race is powerful. It's just the passion.
That's right.
Yeah, sure.
That's right, when you call them names, tell them to do unspeakable things to their mother. It's because you love StarCraft.
Those gases still not down. There's a few different really cool builds you can do from here, so I'm gonna have to keep our eyes. But yeah, at this point, there's not really enough gas for Archon, so Zest starts preparing for a very aggressive follow-up. He's cut probes for now, Maynard.
7-gate charge lot, man. This is a very popular build on the ladder against it.
There's going to be a very narrow window to get out defensive Banelings, and that Zergling, I think it's missed it. I think it's missed it. Oh, the Zergling should see it though.
Oh my god. Just caught
a ton of workers that soO's already built. 55 drones and not a lot to defend them. A lot of zealots already coming in, warping in out of vision. soO does not know this is coming until right now.
Time to ride the Zealot wave. Here they come. They're going to splash upon the Zerg here. 4 Queens getting all together to try and hold on. The drones being pulled immediately. The Lings getting in front of the Queens to try and hold them at bay. But of course, as we know, Zealots are going to hack through these Lings quite fast here. The Prism taking a lot of damage from the Queens.
Whoa, another big Zealot warp in is huge. There's no Zerglings left on the ground. More of them starting to rally, and those Queens doing such a good job with the transfusers of tanking, adding in the damage that they can. The Zealots, though, reconsolidating. Look at this. Zerglings pulling back. They try to let the Queens tank on the north side, allowing the Zerglings to deal that damage on the south. Beautiful engagements here by soO. He's making the best of a terrible situation. Hydras are about to start spilling out, but they don't have any upgrades, Maynard.
They don't, but they're quite good against gateway units. If they can get it all together, I can see soO holding this. The Hydra's starting to join in. Some of the Queens are starting to go down. The Lings are all gone. 7 drones have died here. soO can afford to lose some drones and still hold on.
This is very nice defense by soO, but he did not have sentries and zealots. What?
I don't know. That's not super good against Hydralisks, I think.
Okay, I mean, you could trap the Hydras, right?
I guess,
unupgraded Adepts as well. It's fascinating here, but there's Banelings on the ground. I think this is washed up against the rock that is soO. I don't think this is going to work out for Zest. He's got to make magic happen with these force fields.
Needs to be utilizing more charge lots. I mean, I guess they have that range, maybe a bit better utilized with force fields, but I just don't know, Pig.
Yeah, they don't really have the raw damage output, though. The Banelings finding their way into the sentries and zealots. Oh, my lord.
Yeah, I mean, this is... he gets some nice force fields on the right-hand side there. Does get a Queen pick-off, but there is still so much Zerg remaining.
Yeah, Busty Boys wanting to get to the center of those sentries. Oh, man. Ow, nice hot pickups here. Zest trying to hang on as best he can. Good charge on warp in.
Overextension. Get back on creep there, mate.
Oh, man. Did soO just overextend too far? He should be able to just make more Banelings and hang on. He does not need to go out and fight this. He's 3 base versus 2. He's up 7 workers. His Hydra movement speed upgraded. So soO there. He's got the maneuverability, but he needs the Banelings to make sure these Zealots can't connect with the Hydras.
So Charge getting burned here on these charge lots. They're wrapping around that hatchery and doing sick damage to it. Nice force field from Zest, actually. Oh, blocking a lot of those Zerglings and Banelings inside the mineral line. Is losing those sentries, though. I like this stasis ward. It could potentially be a game-ending maneuver here from Zest if he can catch a big cluster of soO's army.
Zest needs to kill this third at the very least. He needs crazy amounts of damage right now, but using the minerals and even pulling some drones into the fray. soO defending very well there. Finally, the Zealots are gone. The sentries are in the open, and that's
Zest,
it.
he manages to get the probe count up a little bit more. I'm going to get really worried here for soO. What are you... Oh, okay. Looks like he's fully walled off the natural, or at least the Archon's a little bit too thick with 2 Cs to be able to fit out that.
Spotted. We are going to swap to the double first-person view just to get an idea of how incredibly fast these players are. Multitasking all over the shop.
Hydras, which are outputting sick damage.
Yeah, nice engagement there by soO. Gigantic arc, superior army count. He did not drone up behind this. He knew that Zest didn't have a third base, and as soon as he took the Queens held together on that ramp for such a long time against the Zealots. The transfusers just absorbed so much damage. A great hold by soO.
Kinds of macro play. Oh, Zest is meant to be a little bit more annoying here. There we go. That worker freak out, of course, for you guys at home. This is just the players using their extra spare APM in the early stages to just deny mining from a mineral.
Tons of mid-game aggression, ability to slap down a lot of pushes. He really doesn't seem to adjust that much to the patches, and it's because he doesn't need to. Variation this time around.
Yeah, extra gas for those cotton balls of death. We got the double Oracle coming in here, finding his first bit of drone damage, finding 3 and getting out with both their lives. Nice little damage there from Zest.
Going straight for the groove spines this time around, so the Hydra range rather than the movement speed. And here comes that first Archon drop straight on into the third base.
Yeah, trying to get some drone damage here. Does find one on the edge. Getting a Queen would be fantastic as well. The Lings are keeping the Archons at bay, but they are Lings. Dealing with Archons is quite tough when that's all you have. The Queen's diving for that War Prism. One getting a little bit far out. Where's their transfusion? There it is. Gotta keep your sisters alive.
That Prism so low. Gonna have to back out, wait for those shields to regenerate. But a few Zergling kills, not bad. The Oracles come in from the other side. Another 2 workers do go down. Push. That's what Zest's going to go for here. He starts a few probes up behind this. As I say that, invoking my ability as a caster to make the player do the exact opposite of what I'm saying. Slow probing up the third. I think it's just because Zest is respecting the threat of an early Hydra Bane attack, and that makes perfect sense because soO's on 51 workers. And remember the old meme, guys. You can go for 85 drone Hydra Baneling, and yeah, you're a pretty smart Zerg. But you know what's even smarter? If you do it off 50 drones. Tons of Hydra Baneling launching in.
Oh, God. Zest trying to save it, pulling it back. These Hydras don't look like they have muscular organs just yet, but they are pressing the issue with these Banelings looking for those big connections. The Zealots!
Oh,
the High Templar would be a lovely target here.
They're too clumped up. Oh, no. The War Prism trying to save some of these units, but those Banelings just getting on top of it right before charge finishes. Oh, a brutal timing attack here from soO.
He is just rolling through Zest in this game, and while Storm is done, there's just not enough Storms to make a difference, I feel. soO is just barreling through this third base. Zest cannot be stopped. He's lost 14 probes. He's not doing enough damage on the other side of the map against the Zerg. I think this might just be curtains right here. GG! soO getting a 3-0. Oh man, soO did play well today. You know what? I see a lot of people blaming soO's win on this or that, but it really comes down to that. He's just playing well as he usually does. He's making a lot of good decisions that he usually does. Even compared to this year at BlizzCon, he could be choking or jet-lagged or whatever.